Hi, my name is Priscilla, and I'm going to teach you the top 3 poses that I recommend if you have a hammock at home. These are my top go-to poses that I would recommend for you to use at any point in time during the day. So these are like quick little flows that you can do, or just quick poses that you can do if you've been stuck at the computer for a long time, if you've been sitting for a long time. We're going to focus on strengthening the back, decompressing the spine, and also finding a little bit of space and getting a nice release for the psoas muscles. These are the muscles that connect from the back of the spine and wrap all the way around to the hip flexors. So this is where we carry a lot of our emotions, and it's very important that we allow those and that energy, any stuck energy, to just move through the body. First, we begin by finding the front edge. Your front edge will look like a little fruit roll-up. It rolls at the edge, maybe, depending on your hammock. And just give that edge a nice big wave, shake it out, say hello to your hammock. Make sure that there are no wrinkles, no twists, no folds. We want 9 feet of hammock. Place your thumb on the inside. Take a turn and let the hammock come right up to the sacrum. Bring your other hand back and place both thumbs in that front edge, spreading them out wider than your hips, grabbing 6 gathers, fingers coming over the thumbs. And once we have that 6 gathers, or about 6, doesn't have to be perfect, we're going to take a step below our plumb line, that center point right between the 2 connections. So you're coming right below what we call our plumb line. Pushing down, coming up onto your tiptoes. Let the hammock come below the buttocks and lift one leg, bending the knee, lift the leg, slide the hammock below the buttocks to the back of the knees, sitting inside. Bring the hands up, grab like a rope, give your hips a little shimmy, find your seat. Once you're inside of your hammock, bring your hands together. Thank yourself for taking this time to come to a practice. Even if it's just for a moment, even if it's just sitting in the hammock, that's enough. If you lean slightly forward, your elbows will catch. This will prevent you from falling forward. And if you were to lean back, the hammock would also just catch you. So either way you go, you are safe. You are healthy. Bring the hands up, grab a hold of what we call a side sail. So one of the edges, and this is a basic stack grip where one hand is stacked right above the other. Basic stack grip. Slide the hands down towards the hips. Press the hammock away, creating tension. Lift your leg closest to your hands. Give it a kick up and over. This is called a kick switch. And sometimes if you need to kick the edge away with your foot and then come down, all good. Just finding your way to our side saddle position. Pressing the edges to the backs of the knees. Sitting in our side saddle. From here, we'll do a heel trap. So looking to whichever knee. We'll start with our right today. Grab the edges that surround the kneecap. Lift your leg. Bend your knee and trap the heel, extending the leg straight out. That is our heel trap. We'll do it on the other side, grabbing the edges around the kneecap. Lift the leg, bend the knee, trap the heel, and extend. Now, if you have more hammock on one side compared to the other, place your hands below your buttocks, push down, and give the hammock a little shimmy to whichever side you need. And do that as many times as you need to, pushing the hammock below the buttocks, finding your center, finding a nice tall seat, getting a nice trap on your heels. From here, you can bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together, coming into womb position. This is my personal favorite, and I always recommend just starting your practice here. Placing the back of the hands on top of the knees or the thighs, palms facing up for receiving, palms facing down to ground. Becoming aware of your breath. Becoming aware of the body. Just noticing if you need to fidget, give yourself permission to really get comfortable. Fidget if you need to fidget. Settle in. Make any little small adjustments if you need. Asking your feet how they're doing. You need to adjust. Asking your legs permission to just relax. Checking in with your hips, your seat. Maybe even stretching through the spine, sitting nice and tall. And letting the shoulders relax down away from the ears. Allowing your entire body to become heavy. Giving yourself permission to let go. Letting go of any tension. Noticing all sounds. Just allowing yourself to become the observer. Sounds may come, they may go. We are not the boss of noise. So instead of getting agitated, see if you can get curious instead of furious. And if you're agitated, allow yourself to just notice. Or maybe you feel really peaceful. Imagining this peace meter. Which way does the needle point? Is it towards peace or agitation? No right, no wrong. Just observing. Becoming aware of what brings you peace and what brings you agitation. You can place one hand over your heart, the other hand over the belly. Connect to the breath. Breathing in through the nose, filling the belly, the lungs, the chest. Nice long audible exhale. Letting go. Continuing this breath, your own rhythm, your own pace. In through the nose, expanding through the belly, the lungs, the chest. Exhaling, letting go, allowing the belly button to draw back towards the spine. Every inhale expanding, every exhale contracting. This is our 3-part breath. I also like to call this balloon breathing. It makes me think of a balloon expanding, filling, full of fresh oxygen. And as you exhale, letting go of any toxins needing to be released. Cleansing the blood with every breath. When you extend on the exhalation, it allows for the body to drop into the parasympathetic nervous system, letting the body know that you are safe. And you can rest here as long as you would like. This is a great place to pause for meditation. Watching the breath, being witness to your thoughts, to the wandering mind, without needing to control, to force, to judge, to criticize. Just see what it's like to be in this moment, the witness to your own awareness. As you connect to your heart center, pondering for a moment, who am I? No need to have an answer, just to rest in this space. Who am I? And beginning to connect to your intention for your practice. How do you wish to feel? How do you wish to be? How do you wish to move through this world? I'm so happy and grateful now that I slowly, as you allow yourself to come back, gently flutter the eyes open. Extend the legs out into a wide straddle. Circle the toes round and round. Work out any little kinks in the feet. Just sending gratitude to your feet for all that they do. Maybe even switching directions. I like to play with pointing and flexing. We call this pada bandha. It's the energy of the feet. Then we're going to move into what we call yin yang or yin yang. The balance between the masculine and the feminine energies. And this is a great way of balancing the hips. To begin, we begin with bending the right knee, drawing the heel in towards the groin. Bringing the hands together like a prayer. And inhaling, reaching up, lengthening through the spine. Taking a dive towards the right side, that opening in the hammock. We're going to dive the hands through like you're diving into a swimming pool. Open the arms out to a T, which allows the front of the body to come forward. And you can press the edge away from you can use your hand to press the edge so that it comes right below the armpit and right on the back side of the shoulder blade. And this will be a nice little massage here that you're going to receive. This here, you're welcome to just stay here. If you'd like to go a little deeper today, bend the left knee, heel draws back towards the groin, and hang heavy for yin yang. And you're going to start to feel a nice release in the piriformis muscle right behind the glutes. So really encouraging you to breathe into any resistance. What we resist persists. When we stay in flow, we grow. Let the head and neck be soft and heavy. Whole body heavy. Noticing all the mental chatter that may be coming up. Maybe even observing in your own body if you're clenching your jaw or squeezing the glutes. Where are you holding your tension? See if you can be there just a little bit longer. Breathing into those spaces and sending them love and compassion. Letting every breath help you to relax just a little bit more. Sinking a little deeper, hanging a little heavier. We'll take one more breath here. Slowly coming up, and as you come up, option to lift through the heart, start to round up, or you can bring one arm up, grab an edge, and pull yourself back into the center. Make sure to keep those heels trapped. Readjust if you need at any point. And as you come up, take a breather. Switching sides when you're ready, bending the left knee, heel draws in towards the groin, foot in towards the inner thigh. Hands together, inhaling, reaching up to the sky, lengthening through the spine, taking a dive towards that little opening, so towards your left knees, to the left side, opening the arms out to a T and adjusting the hammock so it falls right below the armpit, right behind the shoulder. And then letting the arms hang. Bending the right knee, heel kicks back towards the buttock, hanging heavy for yin yang. And just noticing there's a difference from one side to the other. You may notice one side is a little bit more tight, or maybe you feel some different sensations. Just breathing into this space, getting heavy. Sending love and compassion to those tight spaces. Noticing where you hold the tension. Breathing into it and letting go. Allowing yourself to just truly give yourself permission. Surrender into the pose. Whatever resistance is coming up for you, be with it. Make friends with it. And find ease. See if you can sink a little deeper. Relaxing through the glutes, the head, the neck, the shoulders, arms are heavy. Whole body is like dead weight. This is a great way to release the low back. Nice stretch through the hips. You can hang here as long as you would like. The longer you rest in poses, the more it is of like a restorative practice. And slowly, on your next exhalation, we'll make our way all the way back up. You have an option to reach one hand up or round through the spine. Extend the legs out to a wide straddle. Find your breath. Bend the knees. Allow the hammock to come to the back of the knees. Feet and shins fall out. We're going to come out the same way we came in, so grabbing that middle portion like a rope, basic stack grip, one hand on top of the other. Slide the hands down towards the pelvis, press the hammock away for tension, and lift your leg up, whichever leg you want to go up and over with. Bringing the arm around and shimmying so that you find your center. So it's like sitting in an awkward swing. You grab and shimmy the hips to get back to center. To come out, we're going to do a rocking cradle dismount. Hands reach up, grab like a rope, lean back, toes towards the nose, feet to the floor, coming to a stand. And we're going to bring the whole hammock to our sacrum. We're moving into our first inversion today. This is bringing the whole hammock to the sacrum. Back belt line is what we call this. Thumbs are right at the hip bones. And I'm using the webbing between my thumb and my index finger to press down. Thumbs at the hip bones, hammock at the sacrum. Thumbs pressing down and forward. And then we walk back to tension, coming back onto the tiptoes. As you come onto tiptoes, notice the hands stay low. I'm going to walk my feet forward until I become like a tabletop right below my plumb line, belly button below the plumb line. Then the hands slide up, grab like a rope. Bend the knees out wide, big toes kiss together for saucer. Extend the legs out to a wide straddle as the hands slide down. Bend the knees, clap the feet, slide the hands down. Back of the hands to the floor. Resting in your immersion. If this feels like it is in the mid-back at any point in time, unwind. So chin to chest, grab between the knees, wide straddle to unlock, bend the knees, touch the big toes, and the same right in front of the hammock. Climb the hammock, looking up over your toes. Knees together, feet to the floor. Come into chillax pose where the hammock comes right below the shoulder blades. Back of the hands. Head rests on the back of the hands. It's always important whenever you come up from an inversion that you take the time to breathe. And to come out of this, I'm going to walk my feet back. And the knees come up to a stand. So again, we're going to go through that one more time. The whole hammock to the sacrum. Thumbs at the hip bones, stand below your plumb line. Walk back to tension, hands stay low. Once you come up onto your tippy toes and you feel that tension, tabletop by walking the feet forward. Once the belly comes below the plumb line, hands slide up. Grab like a rope. Bend the knees out wide, big toes kiss together. The same on the front side of the hammock. And as the legs go wide, the hands are going to slide down the hammock. Bend the knees, clap the feet on the same side as the face. Slide your hands down, back of the hands to the floor, palms to the sky. Head and neck, soft and relaxed. Feet are together. Knees are wide to the sides of the room. Find your breath. Get heavy. Take your time to just settle into your zero compression inversion. And whatever is coming up for you every day is different. Just breathe into it. Know that you are safe, you are held, you are supported. What is it like when you can find the ease, even in the midst of the chaos? Heels drawing down towards the pelvis, knees wide to the walls. Relaxing through the spine, giving all of your weight to the hammock. You are supported. No need to control or to try to do anything. letting your head become as heavy as a bowling ball. From here, we're going to move into one-wing monkey. We begin with hooking the right foot, flexing the foot to the hammock. Extend the left leg out as if you were kicking to the outside of the room, maybe pointing the toes or flexing the foot, feeling this energy from the hip all the way out through the foot, like you're shooting out laser beams. And then just choose, does it feel better to flex or to point? You can always stay here in one-wing monkey if that's enough for you, or option to point the toes or flex the foot, send that energy out long, and sweep the leg out and around by rotating your hip in towards the midline. Extending the leg long as it sweeps out and around, pointing the toes or flexing the foot. This is our Phoenix pose. Breathing here. You're getting a really great stretch from the front of the body. We're decompressing the spine and getting this really great stretch for the hip flexors and the psoas muscles. If you feel a little shaking, it's all good. Bend the knee. Moving into our chandelier position. Now again, this might be enough for you today, so just stay here. If you'd like to go a little deeper, you have options. One option, you can bring your left hand to the foot, grabbing the foot. Or if you feel really flexible in your shoulders, you can bring both hands back, clasp the fingers, shoulder blades kiss, arms extend back, opening up through those shoulders. And then dipping the foot in. If you have to fight for it, don't do it. And if it feels okay, let the foot rest in between the hands, letting the thigh get heavy, the whole leg getting heavy. If you want it more intense, you press the foot into the hands. If you need to back off, back off. Honor where you are in your body today. And breathe. Let your breath be your guide. Let it sweep through the leg and just wash away any pains, any pent-up emotions, any stresses we've been holding in the body. Let them dissolve with every breath, finding that ease, that place where you can really just rest in the pose. Your breath is your greatest guide. Holding for 3, 2, 1 more breath. Slowly release any grips, nice and easy, slow movements. Extend the leg long for Phoenix. Sweep the leg out and around through one-wing monkey, rotating the hip out. Bend the knee, flex and hook the foot, and we switch sides. So we're letting our right leg extend out, flexing the foot, pointing the toes, checking in with this side. Each side will feel totally different. Again, sending that energy from the hip all the way out through the foot. Using your breath to guide you. I'm going to point my toes, sweeping the leg out and around, rotating the hip in towards the midline, extending the leg long. If you ever want to give yourself some little pets or some taps, feel free to do so. You have full permission. And if that feels okay for you there in Phoenix, feel free to let the knee bend, coming into our chandelier. Again, just testing the waters. Maybe you reach back with one hand. Maybe you don't. Maybe you reach back with both hands. Maybe you won't. Maybe you allow the whole foot to dip in. Just honor where you are today. Breathing, backing off if you need to back off. And we just rest here, letting the breath guide, letting the leg get heavy, thigh heavy. You can even imagine like a sandbag resting on top of the thigh. Being with whatever is here, all that mental chatter, what we call vritti, that whirlpool of thoughts, just letting them whirl through, not attaching to anyone, not listening to any lies that the mind is telling today, but just observing. Thanking the resistance for when it shows up, it's trying to protect us. When we breathe into the resistance, we turn any fears into excitement, to acceptance, to surrender. Moving through. Holding for 3. 2. 1 more breath. Slowly releasing. Back of the hands to the floor. Extend the leg nice and long. We're going to sweep that leg out and around, rotating the hip. Bend the knee. Feet together. Give yourself a little round of applause. Nicely done. I always like to throw in the challenge of a knee squeeze, bringing the feet up and through. The center, squeezing those knees together as close as you can get them today. Doing your best, no better, no less. And just softening, relaxing. Nice deep breath. Bring the hands to the floor. Walk the hands forward until you can't go any further. Shoulders are going to stack over the wrists. Strong arms for wheelbarrow. On the exhale, bend the elbows, float back, pressing the earth away. Getting a nice release through those shoulders for wishbone. You can even sway a little bit at the hips for wishbone sways. And again, inhaling, shifting the weight forward, shoulders stacking over the wrists, rooting through your knuckles. On the exhale, bend at the elbows, float back, pressing the earth away. Swaying the hips, wishbone. One more time, because the body likes 3s. Wheelbarrow to wishbone. And letting yourself come right back to Spider-Man, holding back the hands to the floor. you're ready, we'll come out, chin to chest, look up to the belly button, grab in between the knees, nice and easy here. Bring the legs out wide, bend the knees, touch the big toes together right in front of the hammock, and climb up, nice and slow, looking over the toes. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees together, feet to the floor. Let the hammock catch you right below the scapula, the shoulder blades. Bend the elbows, let the hands come up towards the forehead. And take rest and chillax. Back of the hands to the forehead, taking rest. Always important to do a counter pose and to just breathe after any inversion. Letting the body come back to gravity. Accepting all of those amazing benefits that you just received. If it feels better for you, you can also hug your hammock and lean forward for a forward fold or forward hang. Just finding what feels best for you. And slowly, we come all the way up to a stand. Next, we're going to move into our pericardium stretch. This is a really great stretch for the heart. So bringing the whole hammock up over the shoulders, balancing it out like a rope wrapped around the neck. Karate chop, make sure that you're even on both sides. From here, we're going to bring the hands up through the center and out to a T. So you should have this little halter top on. And then we're again going to bring the arms up through the center, out to a T. Spreading the arms, spreading the fingers, pointing the pinkies down. If you need to give a little wiggle so that you're wrapped up evenly. And then from here, we're going to walk the feet forward until you can't go any further. Get mine a little more balanced here. Then once you find that you walk as far forward as you can, maybe take just a baby step back so you're not throwing yourself into the pose. Spread the fingers wide. Pinkies are going to point down to the floor. Chin to chest. Bring your right ear towards your right shoulder and look down towards the armpit. Just breathe here. Opening the heart space, getting a nice stretch for the pericardium, which is that little sac that surrounds the heart, keeping our blood pumping and flowing. We are creating healthy, happy hearts here today. It's also a great way to stretch the neck. Hold for 3. 2. 1. And slowly bring the gaze back to center. Looking up. Then we'll bring our left ear to the left shoulder, gaze down towards the armpit. Nice deep breaths. Keep spreading your fingers, keep pointing the pinkies down, even though, yes, you might feel some tingling sensations in the wrists. You might feel some numbness in the fingers, all totally normal. Keep that breath moving. Keep opening that heart space and just be with whatever is here for you. Keep a slight bend in the knees, rooting through the feet. So we hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring the gaze back to center and walk back, unravel. Feeling your new arms, maybe open and close the fists a couple times, shrug the shoulders, get that blood surging back through the body. Shake it up. Next, we're gonna move into our flying dog. So I'm gonna have the hammock right in front of me. I'm gonna grab so that the hands are right on the outside of the hips, pushing down, coming up onto the toes. Super gluing the hammock to the top of the leg line. Walking forward on the tiptoes, heart comes forward towards the front of the room. Letting the hammock slide in right below the hip bone, so it's going to lock in below the hip bones. And when you feel like you've walked as far forward as you can, take 2 more steps forward. The hammock will come below the hip bones. If it doesn't, you can always lift one leg, pop the hammock down and below the hip bone. And then lean your weight into it. We're going to bring the arms out to a T. And do a little swimming of the aura. So swimming the fingers like you're doing little figure 8s. Arms are out to a T and just the fingers are drawing figure 8s out towards the outsides of the room. And starting to lean forward, hanging heavy, bending the knees slightly. Inhale, lift up through the heart, arms out. Again, swim your aura down, little figure 8s down towards the floor. Back up and just playing with any movements that call. Maybe you draw some bigger figure 8s. Breathing. And next time you drift the fingers to the floor, take a few steps back until the fingers do touch to the earth. Palms come to the earth. And once the palms meet the floor, super glue all 10 toes to the earth. Get a little bend in the knees, feet about hip width distance apart. We're moving to our supported downward facing dog. It's very important that the fingers are spread wide. You can even bring thumbs to shoulders and then drop them down. Root down through the knuckles. Root down through the feet. Bend the knees, belly in towards the thighs. Head and neck soft and relaxed. And when you're ready, we're going to lift through the hips, press the earth away. Head and neck relaxed, hips towards the sky, maybe even walk the dog, bending one knee at a time, working the heel towards the earth. Our downward facing dog. And the hammock really offers this great support to show you where you might be off in your hips or in alignment. So it's keeping that proper form and alignment first. Form first, flexibility will follow. Belly towards the thighs, hips to the sky, press through the knuckles, head and neck relaxed. This is our downward facing dog. Over 3, 2, 1. We'll bend the knees. Walk the feet back even more until the toes barely touch. Hands stay super glued to the floor the entire time. From here, we'll explore with our flying dog, just swaying the hips side to side. Perhaps you lift one heel towards the buttock, maybe both heels towards the buttocks, finding that trust, sink through the hips. And if it feels like it's too much, you can always drop the feet back down. If you need to come up, you walk the feet up. And if you'd like to really rest here today, wherever you're at, just rest here today. You can play with swaying the hips side to side, as if you were drawing big smiley faces on the floor with the knees. Maybe you do some big circles with the knees, squeeze together. Switching directions. Such a great way of massaging into the psoas muscles. Those muscles, again, they get us out of bed every day. They hold on to all of our stresses and our emotions. They do so many things, so it's really, really great opportunity to get in a deep tissue massage, massaging away tension. And if you are at a point where this is a hurt so good, and I promise one day it will be, you can hug your knees in. If you want to make this more intense, you could play with doing a core workout here by lifting through the heart, letting the legs hang heavy. You could do crunches here. Or you can just hang, whatever feels best. Bring the palms back to the floor, toes to the floor. We're going to walk the feet forward, lifting through the heart. Walking the feet all the way back up, arms out to a T. Feet to the floor. Give yourself a little round of applause. Massaging to those spaces. This does take about 3 to 6 classes before it becomes a hurt so good. So if you're new and this is just the beginning, give yourself an even harder round of applause. You may have some bruises there, and you're welcome. We will move into our cocoon. Find the front edge, give your hammock a nice big wave, shake it out. Thumb on the inside, turn towards the front of the room. Thumbs spread out wider than the hips, grabbing your 6 gathers. Taking a step back below the plumb line, pushing down, sitting inside. Find your back edge. Lay all the way down. Use your feet to kick the lower portion out and away. And just take rest in cocoon. Personally, I like to give my head just a little tuck sometimes. Folding the hammock underneath the head and the neck. Wiggling until you get comfortable. Hands over heart, or one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. You can even do one hand over the forehead and the other hand wherever it needs to be today. Integrating your practice. Taking this time to integrate. This is the most important pose, cocoon. Also known as floating shavasana. Shavasana is the most important because we just really do need to take time to lay down, to receive all of those benefits. Thank yourself for all of your hard work, for finding movement today, even for just a moment. Giving yourself this time, this space, to just be. Connecting back to your heart center, becoming the witness to your own awareness. Connecting back to the breath, watching the breath coming in, going out, the coming and the going. You can take as much time as you need here, or gently guide yourself.